Hello, race fans. The NASCAR Second Cup Series is back here once again under the lights, getting ready for the second race of these NASCAR Second Cup Series playoffs. We are here at the world's fastest half mile, Bristol Motor Speedway, getting ready for the Food City 500. Now, the last time we were here at Bristol, it was back when the track was covered in dirt. We had two heat races where Stephen Colin and Alex Ferranti came out as the victors, but this race is going to be a lot different. We're back on the normal configuration, the normal asphalt, and we're going to be racing here for 75 laps. Our points in the playoffs have definitely scrambled after last week at Darlington. James Qualls came out on top, and he's already punched his ticket into the round of 12. But we have a few more drivers still looking to try to get their way into the round of 12, and we have quite a few chase contenders starting in the top 10. We have Cole Daly, who's going to start this race in 4th. We have a row 6. Pair of playoff drivers, Seth Cole and Dylan Young. And then right behind them, we have another couple of drivers starting in row 5, which is going to be Jessica Shelton and Cole Deaver. And in front of them, going to be starting this race from the 7th position, is going to be Dylan Pote. Now, Dylan Pote, out of all these Trace drivers, he is currently 3rd in standings. So a lot can happen here. A lot of drivers can be in good standing, but for 75 laps at a track like Bristol Motor Speedway, anything can happen. For the drivers who are going to lead the entire field starting off for the 75 lapper is going to be Alex Drayton and William Brock. Alex Drayton, he's still looking to get, I believe he's still looking to get his first win of the season, while William Brock, he's going to try to go for his second. William Brock hasn't won a race since the Brickyard 400, so I don't know what exactly that we're going to see here. Well, race fans, I hope you guys are ready, because I know I am, as we're just seconds away from those famous words in motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
The 4 drivers in the top 4 looking to try to get their first wins of the season: Alex Drayton, Danny Wells, and Cole Daly. But the pace car is making that hard left into pit road as we're about to get here underway at the world's fastest half mile. The green flag is now out here at Bristol. You're gonna have to forgive some of these camera angles. Some of them are decently good and some of them are just bad. But we now see that Alex Drayton is trying to do what he can to run away with that lead, as he will lead the first lap. Danny Wells finds himself settled in 2nd place, and he has William Brock closing in right behind him. And it looks like Seth Cole has trying to break away from the rest of the pack. He now sits comfortably in 4th, as Dylan Pote now sits comfortably in the 5th position, as we're having a little bit of a Joe Gibbs Racing stable back here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Jessica Shelton, Cole Daly, and Tim Fiegel. Man, it looks like that we had a wreck in the back. I thought we did. Is the caution out? No, it's not. The caution is out. I thought we had a little bit of wreck in the back, but Alex Drayton will continue to lead, but he has a bumper full of Danny Wells. Let's actually go to the rear camera of Alex. And oh man, Danny Wells trying to look what he can to go to the inside to try to get that lead away from the 14 car. He is just all over it, and he's trying to peek a nose under the 14. Can't quite do it yet. But oh man, Danny Wells, he's trying to do whatever he can to chase that 14 down. And further back, I see we have a battle between teammates Tim Fiegel and Cole Daly here, as we're still keeping an eye on the 14 and the 12. Everything's been quiet so far, and old man Danny, he's still looking to try to make his move. Can't quite do it yet. He's trying to get around on the inside, but Drayden, he is not letting that inside line go for anything. And oh man, the caution is out. The pace car is out onto the track, and it looks like we had a little bit of an accident heading into turn 3. I'm trying to see who was involved, and it looks like Simon Oscon may have been involved in the 91. I don't see if anyone else has damage. Kyle Matthews may have a little bit of damage, but this may have been just a 2-car incident. I'm not sure. I don't really see anyone with damage, and I don't see anyone on pit road. Well, while these drivers are trying to figure out where they're supposed to be, we're heading back up to the front. Our leader is still Alex Drayden. Let's head to the replays and see what happened to brought out our first caution of the night. Well, here's having to brought out our first caution. It literally happened at the very back of the field. Coming out of turn 2, they were just going 3 wide, and it looks like that the 77 just hooks the right rear quarter panel of the 91, and that's what sends Simon Oscon around. Luckily, this didn't happen like in the mid pad, because a lot of cars definitely would have been involved in this, but it's just a single car spin between Simon Oscon. All he needs to do is just get some fresh Goodyears, and he should be ready to go once again. Here we are back at Bristol. We're going to restart on lap number 14. And no drivers have retired out of the race. Our top 10, once we get back underway, goes as follows. Alex Drayden is the race leader. Second is Danny Wells. Third is William Brock. Fourth, Seth Cole. Fifth is Dylan Poteet. Sixth is Jessica Shelton. Seventh is Tim Fiegel. Eighth is Cole Daly. Ninth, Dylan Young. And rounding out the top 10 is James McLeod. There's still plenty of racing here to go as the pace car makes that hard left back onto pit road, and the green flag is back out. And Drayden gets a really, really good start off the line. The rest of the field is going to have to try to do what they can to catch back up. And oh man, I see that Joshua Mudd got caught back here. And oh man, it looks like he took a late pit stop, and now he's gonna get caught a lap down, I believe. That does seem to be the case here, as Joshua Mudd, he is now shown literally in dead last right now, and now he is caught a lap down. But Alex Drayden, he still commands the lead, but Danny Wells, he is still doing what he can to chase him back down. Danny Wells hasn't been to victory lane since Darlington last season, and the caution's back out. The caution is back out, and oh man, it looks like we had a big incident in turn 1. I'm trying to see who may have been involved, and oh man, Matt McIntyre, he's shown back here. And oh no, there's some damage to one of our playoff drivers, Allison Rain. She's got right side and rear damage, and there's a lot of front end damage to Brett Kenneberg in the 38, and there's some left side damage to the number 8 of Dustin Stuller. So this is definitely a multiple car incident, and there's a little bit of rear damage also to Levi McIntyre in the 60. Oh man, these guys are trying to run a bit hard here at the world's fastest half mile, and pit stops are indeed happening, and it looks like Joshua Mudd is going to take the wave around to get his lap back. If he could try to get another caution, he could be back in this thing. Never say never. I don't think he has to come back down. But while these drivers are taking their pit stops, let's see what happened to bring out our second caution of the night. What's having to bring out our second caution? I believe that this is coming out of turn 2. And it looks like that Michael Norman hooks the left rear quarter panel of Matt McIntyre, and then he gets into it with Dustin Stuller. Okay, no, my mistake. It was coming out of turn 4. But both the 27 and the 8 get into it together, and they go right into the turn 1 wall, right in front of Steven Gonzalez here, and it just causes just a bit of a pileup here. Playoff driver Zachary Fitzwater got a little bit of taste of Dustin Stuller, and Allison Rain. Ooh, Allison Rain gets a little bit into Mitchell Collins in the 22, and last week's winner James Qualls, he gets stuck behind Matt McIntyre and Steven Gonzalez. That was the first part of the incident, and I believe something else happened. I'm trying to find out where these guys got the rest of their damage. I'm trying to take a look at the 38. Where's the 38? Because he got a lot of major damage. He may have bunched up against someone. Okay, there he is. There's Brett Kenneberg. Oh, as soon as I hit fast forward. Oh. Okay, here's what happened. Right up ahead, Allison Rain. She actually gets hooked by the 22 of Mitchell Collins. She gets hooked by the 22 coming out of turn 2, and they go right into the safer barrier, as you can see from that other camera angle. Allison Rain's wheels lock up, and Brett Kenneberg just hits the back of the 7 car. This is not what Allison Rain needs. For the second week in a row, she's found trouble, and this is not what she needed at all. If she goes back to the garage area, she's only going to have one more chance to try to get herself a win at Las Vegas next week. But oh man, just a chain reaction here at Bristol. Bristol's not taking any prisoners here, and Allison Rain is a prime example of that. And here we are back at Bristol. We're only going to have one driver who retired out of the race, and that is Brett Kenneberg. We're going to restart on lap number 23, and look who just took the lead after having that late pit stop after the first caution. Brandon Krasa is now the race leader, but we're going to have a few drivers who are a lap down, as our top 10 is Brandon Krasta, Alex Drayton, Dylan Pote, Danny Wells, Jessica Shelton, Tim Fiegel, Seth Cole, Dylan Young, James McLeod, and Sky Commons. Now, what are these lap down drivers are going to do with these guys? I don't know, but the green flag is back out, and Brandon Krasa got a rocket start off the line. And oh man, I don't know what these lap guys are going to do with the rest of the lead lap cars, and Brandon Krasta, he is going to run away with that lead. Brandon Krasta, he's trying to use pit strategy to his advantage here. After that first caution, he took a very late pit stop just before they came back to the green flag, and it looks like to be benefiting him here tonight. He's trying to capture his second win of the season and his first win on an oval. His first win came all the way back at Sonoma. And further back here, dealing with the lap traffic, Alex Drayton, he continues to sit in second place. I'm trying to get to him. There he is. He's sitting comfortably in second place. And here comes Dylan Pote. And oh man, I just heard a crash. I just heard a crash. And yep, the caution is back out once again. The caution's back out once again as I just heard a major crash here. And I'm trying to see who was involved. And oh no, Joshua Osborne. His Monster Energy #1 is up in smoke. There's some damage to Michael Norman as he just does a stop and go. And James Qualls, he's coming down pit road. I don't know what for. Both him and Nathan Hudson came down. And there's Aaron Macklin in the 98. He's got some major front end damage. And it looks like he's going to take his car back to the garage area, which he does. And I don't see anyone else with damage, but I did see that Brandon Crasson was coming down pit road. Like I said, he's on a different pit strategy than the rest of these guys. Well, actually, I think all the leaders are coming down. Yes, all the leaders are indeed coming down here. But now Brandon Crasson, he will be on the same pit cycle as everyone else. But while everyone's taking their pit stops, let's take a look and see what happened to bring out our third caution of the night. Here's how we brought out our third caution. Coming out of turn 2, it looks like Michael Norman just hooks the left rear quarter panel of Aaron Macklin, and that's what sends both the 98 and the 21 towards the inside wall as they bounce off of it. But it doesn't end there. They were going so fast that they were literally just running until they got all the way into the entrance of turn 3. Now, they barely just missed RJ Bishop, but Joshua Osborne, he hits the 98, and it just sends the 98 into a spin. James Qualls actually gets into Aaron Macklin, and he nearly gets clobbered by his teammate in the 27. Steven Gonzalez also gets a piece of Levi McIntyre. Nathan Orman somehow misses all this. We're going to have to ride on board with the 48 to see what he saw. Steven Gonzalez gives another tap to Joshua Osborne as Mitchell Collins, he stays on the outside, but he still suffered damage from this accident. And it looks like Michael Norman also got another piece of Steven Gonzalez. Then Aaron Macklin, he runs into the back of Joshua Osborne just to add insult to injury. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have to ride on board with the 48 because I believe he got the best view of all this calamity. Here we are from the onboard of the number 48 Ally Chevrolet Camaro of Nathan Ormond. Okay, it looks like Ormond actually did get a little bit of piece of it, but it doesn't appear to show that he got too much damage out of it. Before we head back to live action, I just caught this in the nick of time. Dylan Pote was just leaving his pit stall, and Cole Daly was trying to get into his. Cole Daly literally gets into the right rear quarter panel of Dylan Pote, and that causes him to lose a little bit of time during his pit stall. He holds up Sky Commons and Tim Fiegel just a little bit, but that's going to allow Jessica Shelton, Commons, and Alex Drayton to get out in front of him. Luckily, he didn't get that pit road glitch where he had to teleport back to his pit box. But I don't know if they just didn't see each other or if the spotters were taking a coffee break or something, but that's going to cost Dylan a couple of positions leaving his pit. And here we are back at Bristol. We're going to restart on lap number 32, and we have more drivers who are not out of this race. They are Joshua Osborne, Aaron Macklin, Nathan Hudson, and Mitchell Collins. Now, now we have a lot of drivers at the tail end of the lead lap, but our leader, once we get back underway, is actually, in fact, Michael Norman. Michael Norman with a damaged race car is the new race leader. He could be trying to get his second win of the season after winning at Watkins Glen earlier. Second place is Jessica Shelton. Third is Sky Commons. Fourth is Alex Drayton. And fifth is Dylan Pote, as we're about to get back here underway at Bristol. Like I said, anything can happen at Bristol, and Michael Norman with a damaged race car. He is the race leader, but this is going to be their chance to try to get their laps back. But Jessica Shelton, she's not going to waste this opportunity, as she is all over the back bumper of Michael Norman. She wants to try to get the lead, and it looks like that Alex Ferranti, Kyle Matthews, and Jake Rogers are going to try to get their laps back. But with a damaged race car, I don't think Michael Norman is going to be too up to speed here, as we're having a heated battle for the lead between him and Jessica Shelton, which Jessica Shelton does end up taking. Jessica Shelton's trying to fight as hard as she can to get that lead from the 21, but she can't quite clear him yet. It might have to take her just a couple more turns, and it looks like Jessica Shelton has indeed cleared Michael Norman, and she has taken the lead. Sky Commons, now he's all over the back bumper of Dustin Stuller. Another lap machine trying to get him out of the way. Fourth now is Seth Cole, and we're having a heated battle for fifth between Dylan Pote and Alex Drayton. Like I said, at a track like Bristol, never ever count yourself out too early. If you can stay out of trouble, get a lucky pit strategy, and benefit from it, you could find yourself in the front, and that's exactly what Jessica Shelton is doing. She's gonna try to look to put Jake Rogers a lap down, which I'm trying to see if he actually is already a lap down. No, he's not. He's still on the lead lap. If the caution comes out, Kyle Matthews, and Alex Ferranti will be back. Will finally be at the back of the pack. But Jessica Shelton, she's gonna try to do whatever she can. Right now, she sits fifth in standings after having a good finish last week where she climbed up 5 spots in the playoffs. We're well past the halfway point, and Jessica Shelton's going to try to do what she can to hang on to that lead. Michael Norman still sits comfortably in second place. He's been involved in two out of the 3 cautions here tonight, and he finds himself in second place. And here comes Sky Commons. Sky Commons, he still sits in third place, but he's trying to get around the slow Dustin Stuller here. With all that damage, Dustin Stuller still seems to be competitive, but now Jessica Shelton, she's caught Kyle Matthews and Jake Rogers. I don't know if they're going to keep blocking her or if they're going to let her get around them to put them back a lap down, but I don't think that's going to happen. These drivers, I believe that they're going to have to take one more pit stop once, if this stays under the green flag. Let's go through the field and see who I see. Let's see. Seth Cole, he's still sitting by himself in the 4th position, running behind fellow playoff driver Zachary Fitzwater. Dylan Pote, who sits 3rd in standings, he had that real bad pit stop with Cole Daly, and he's ending up in 5th place right now. And further back here, we just had a battle for 6th. Tim Fiegel just got around Alex Drayton. Now we see Christina Bell finding herself in the 8th position. I believe she started well past the 30th spot. 9th right now is Dylan Young, and I believe we're having a battle for 10th between James McLeod and Dougie Shears. And oh man, they nearly went 3 wide back there. But Jonathan Zorlin, he came out on top ahead of Cole Deaver and Brayson Mitchell in the 41. And oh man, these guys are running incredibly hard here. And here comes Brendan Crasto, who led a couple of laps earlier, but he had to come back down pit road. But if this thing stays green, he may have a strategy that might put him back in the front, because he did come back down. Heading back up to the front, it's still all about Jessica Shelton. She has not looked back ever since she took that lead away from Michael Norman. She just has to deal with the 77 and the 94 slowing her down. But the laps are indeed winding down as Jessica Shelton, right now, she has no competition right now. Michael Norman, he's sitting comfortably in second, but he has a bumper full of Dustin Stuller, and Sky Commons, he's on a charge. Sky Commons in the number 10. He's looking to try to get some momentum before we head to his home track at Las Vegas next week. Let's also right on board with the number 10. Dustin Stuller still trying to get under Michael Norman to try to get some position. But these guys need to try to work together to catch that number 20. Because ever since she took the lead, she has not looked back. You know, man, it looks like we may be catching up on some more lap traffic up ahead. I can't tell who exactly that is, as we have a decent green flag run going right now. But the laps are indeed winding down. Very soon, we're going to have 20 laps to go. So far, nothing's really changed right now. It's just a huge gap between first and second. It's just a 3-car breakaway for first, second, and third. Then fourth place, we still have Seth Cole running by himself. Tim Fiegel just moved himself up to fifth. Dylan's dropped back to sixth now. Seventh is still Alex Drayton, with Christina Bell trying to fight back on the outside to try to keep that seventh spot. But I don't know if she can do it yet. Ninth is still Dylan Young, but he has 10th place breathing down his neck, James McLeod. The green flag, this green flag run is still going pretty strong here, as we now see that Dylan Poteet is stuck behind Joshua Mudd. He can't quite get around him yet. Joshua Mudd, he's not slow. He just had to take an unscheduled pit stop. That's why he got so deep in the field here. But oh man, it's almost a 3-wide situation between he, Christina Bell, and Alex Drayton. But luckily, Poteet wisely backs out of it, and they're still going. And oh man, some of the 3 cars are separated. It looks like that Dustin Stuller, he got stuck on the outside. He's still trying to do what he can to block Sky Commons from passing him. But now Michael Norman, he has a little bit of clean air to try to catch Jessica Shelton. But I don't know if he has the car to do it, considering that he has damage on that 21 car. But so far, Jessica Shelton, she's not trying to put Kyle Matthews or Jake Rogers a lap down. She's trying to use them as drafting buddies, I think, so she can try to stay away from Michael Norman. But the laps are indeed winding down. We're now hitting lap 62 out of 75. But now, the question is, are these guys going to have to come back down pit road once again? I'm not sure, but Jessica Shelton continues to lead. Michael Norman still finds himself in second. Sky Commons still hasn't gotten around Dustin Stuller yet. Seth Cole still sits fourth. And now we have a new driver in fifth place, Tim Fiegel. Tim Fiegel, he can really use a decent, good run here. Right now, he sits sixth in standings here, and every position counts, especially as we're going to go into the final round of 16 next week at Las Vegas. And it looks like Seth Cole's trying to get around Zachary Fitzwater to try to gain another spot, but he can't quite do it yet. And oh man, it looks like Michael Norman is slowly trying to close the gap between he and Jessica Shelton. And oh man, Jake Rogers finally moves to the outside. I guess Jessica Shelton had enough of following Jake Rogers. Now she wants to try to put him a lap down. But Jake Rogers, he's still fighting back on the outside here. Jessica Shelton has not cleared the 94 yet, but while these guys are going side by side, that's going to allow Michael Norman to slowly catch back up. And oh man, Jake Rogers got a fast run on the outside, and he's not going to lap down just yet. But while they went side by side, that allowed Michael Norman's time to cut down to just half a second. Oh man, I don't know if Michael Norman's gonna have enough time if more pit stops don't happen, or if they try to go side by side again with each other. I don't know if Norman's gonna have what it takes to catch that number 20. A win here for Jessica Shelton would punch her ticket into the round of 12, but she's gonna have to try to do what she can to protect that lead. But right now, everything is in her favor now, as we now have 6 laps to go. No one has anything for the number 20. Further back, Sky Combs is still stuck behind Dustin Stoller. And it looks like Tim Fiegel has caught Seth Cole. This might be a battle for the 4th position. But like I said, every position counts for these playoff drivers. Five laps to go, and still no indication for anything. It looks like Jessica Shelton's trying to. Wait a minute. We got pit stops going on right now. Kyle Matthews could not make it on fuel. But now the question is, can Jessica Shelton or Michael Norman make it? And Sky Commons couldn't make it either. He came down. Oh man, he just surrendered the 3rd position. Oh man, we're gonna have to keep an eye on these guys as we now have 2 laps. Next time by we're gonna have 2 laps to go. Can Jessica Shelton hang on to this lead, and can she save fuel to make it to the very end? It looks like she's trying to do what she can to conserve fuel. Racing behind Jake Rogers is exactly how she can do that. As we're coming to the white flag, the white flag is now waving here at Bristol. No indication for pit road so far, and nothing from Michael Norman to try to challenge for this win. Coming out of turn 4 for the final time here, winning the Food City 500. Jessica Shelton, she will take this home, and she will capture her first win of the season. Jessica Shelton using pit strategy, and oh man, it looks like we just had an accident in the entrance of turn 3, but it's a little too late for that, as Jessica Shelton will punch her ticket into the round of 12 alongside James Qualls. Man. S4 Food 500, race number 28. And this race is indeed official. Jessica Shelton, thanks to pit strategy, comes out on top here today, as she will take home the world's fastest half mile and capture her first win of the season. Michael Norman, a strong showing for the number 21, despite getting involved in 2 cautions. He just didn't have the speed to compete with Jessica Shelton, so he'll have to settle for a 2nd place finish. Seth Cole rounds out 3rd. Tim Fiegel ends up 4th. Alex Drayton, our pole sitter, ends up with a top 5 finish. Christina Bell ends up 7th. Dylan Pote 8th. James McLeod 9th. 8th, I'm sorry. Brayson Mitchell, our highest finishing rookie, ends up 9th in the 41 car. Then rounding out the top 10 is Dougie Shears. That'll definitely help him out in the points. Then we have Jonathan Zorlin, Danny Wells, Dylan Young, Brandon Crasser, who led a couple of laps. He'll have to settle for a 14th place finish. Rounding out the top 15 was Ryan Acosta. Then we have Cody Lamas, RJ Bishop, Cole Deaver, Charles Sanford, and Cole Daly rounds out the top 20. Then we have Stephen Colin, one of our winners the last time we were here. James Qualls, Chris Darlington, Samit Oskan, who was responsible for the first caution, he ends up 24th. Nathan Orman rounds out with a top 25. Then we have Steven Gonzalez and Levi McIntyre was the last driver on the lead lap. Then we have William Brock, who started this race in second place. He ends up 28th a lap down. Then we have Matt McIntyre, Jake Rogers, Dustin Stuller, Zachary Fitzwater, Joshua Mudd, Allison Rain, and Alex Franti, who was actually 2 laps down. Then Kyle Matthews. Kyle Matthews was still running on the track. It just said he retired because he was taking his pit stop. And Sky Commons. Sky Commons ended up 3 laps down because he surrendered third place. So that was really bad for him. That is not the kind of finish he'd need. But hopefully he'll have better luck next week at his home track as we're going to head to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And then we have Mitchell Collins, Nathan Hudson, Aaron Macklin, Joshua Osborne, and Brett Kennenberg. That rounds out our field here tonight at Bristol. Well, race fans, that does it here. We have one more race in the round of 16, and we are going to have 4 drivers who are going to be eliminated. The bottom 4 are going to be eliminated after the race next week at Las Vegas. What kind of racing will we see there? Which drivers are going to be eliminated, and which 12 are going to head on to the next round? Well, we already know 2 of those drivers. They are James Qualls and Jessica Shelton. They're already ready for the next round. Can we go 3 for 3 of having championship contenders win here in the SEGA Cup Series playoffs? I don't know, but you guys are gonna have to find out once we travel to the desert in Las Vegas. Congratulations one last time to Jessica Shelton for winning the Food City 500, and we will see you guys at Viva Las Vegas.